Praise the Lord. Good morning. Today we are going to see a new book, Exodus from Bible. This is the second book of the Pentateuch. The Pentateuch means the first division of the Old Testament, which has got 5 books. So there we completed Genesis, and now we are getting into Exodus. Exodus in Greek means departure. Okay, so that is why this book is completely dealing about the departure of the Israelites from Egypt to the promised land. So that is the reason why this book was named as Exodus. There are 4 divisions in this book. This is a small introduction about Exodus, and then we'll get into each and every chapter. And the 4 divisions are, till 12 chapters we can see Israelites in Egypt, the suffering of the Israelites in Egypt. Okay, and then after that, from chapter 12 to 18 we can see the Exodus, that is the departure of the Israelites from Egypt to Mount Sinai. So 12 to 18 chapters. And then from 19 to 24 chapters we can see the covenant that was made by God with the people, Israelites, at Mount Sinai. There Moses comes over there. And then from chapter 25 to 40, which is a huge chunk, there we find how God guides and teaches Moses how to build a dwelling and how to keep that dwelling, the furnishings and everything, at Mount Sinai. Okay, so this is how the Exodus book is actually divided. Now we will straight away get into chapter 1. This book is a rich source of lot of revelations about what is going to come and about what is happening right now, and also a lot of learnings about our own life we can derive from this book. So we need to pay great attention to the details that are given in this book and what I am sharing with you. Remember, again I'm telling, I'm sharing all what Father Daniel Povanathil had interpreted from this Bible, from the book of Exodus, and I'm just consolidating that and I am sharing it with you. So let's get into chapter 1. Okay, now in the book of Genesis we saw 70 people, including the family of Joseph, where had settled in a land called Goshen in Egypt, which was given by the Pharaoh. I hope you remember that. So it was just that 70, but after Joseph died and everybody actually died, they were multiplying and they prolified like anything, and they became very fruitful because they utilized that place Goshen very much, and they really became a great generation over there. Now a new king came who didn't know anything about Joseph and what he had contributed to Egypt, about the famine and everything. So this always happens. People forget about the past. A new king came who never knew anything about Joseph and and what he saw was that this is a new set of people, the Hebrews, the Israelites, who are growing in number. I think they will become a threat to us, so we need to completely destroy them. So this is the thought that came to the new king, and he was very scared of them. Why? Because he was jealous that they might outnumber the Egyptians. Okay, here there is a great spiritual truth that we have to understand. Now we have to all think that these Jews, that is the Israelites, the Jews are one race who have, there is no other race in this world, we can say, kind of people who were attacked and who are still getting attacked. Even now we know that, Israel and Palestine, the problems that are happening. So right from that time onwards, till this time, this is one group of people who are getting attacks from everywhere. And this is one group who had scattered. No other group in this whole world also were scattered like this. How the Jews were scattered. They were threatened and they were sent to different parts of the world. A big diaspora itself had taken place. But we can also find that there is no other group which is so powerful also. Okay, so this is just a thought for us to think. Now, why is this? This particular group were attacked so much. Okay, this chosen, why means what Father Daniel says is because they were a chosen generation. Why should the chosen generation be attacked? They did not do any harm to the Egyptians. They were living peacefully over there, right? But since the blessing is there on them, that is the reason why the evil one is attacking on them. Now when we go back to the book of Genesis, we can see that when Adam and Eve were created and God's blessing were on them, the evil one entered. Evil one was also there even before, but it always tries to attack the people who have got greater blessings. Okay, now that is the reason why this evil thought came to this king, that this group has to be attacked and they have to be destroyed because they were a chosen generation. What is it that we have to understand? Many times we too feel that we are attacked, we are questioned, we meant no harm to anyone, but we are attacked like anything. If you take our country also, many times we are still a minority only. But in spite of that, there are a lot of people who are, aim to destroy us and attack us. What is the reason? The reason is because they are scared of us. And why they are scared of us? That is because of we are a blessing. We are a chosen generation. There is blessing on us. And therefore the evil one gives a thought to them like that. But I will also tell you that, and so therefore we have to understand that even at family or in workplace or any other place, when we are, falsely accused or we are attacked unnecessarily, even when we meant no harm, please remember this thing that happened many years back. That maybe we are a chosen generation. Maybe there is a greater blessing on the way. That is the reason. So you have to be really proud and you can say that God is with me, and therefore even if they attack things, nothing will happen. So that is the assurance that we have to give us and not get frustrated. So that is one lesson, big spiritual truth that we have to learn from this. Why these people were attacked like that? Okay, now how did Pharaoh deal with, what was the strategy that he adopted to deal with these people, that is the Israelites? He had two plans in his mind. One was to give hardship to the existing generation. To give hardship to the existing generation, and the second one was to target the upcoming generation. So these are the two things that he planned. And for the first strategy, that is to give hardship to the existing generation, he had three plans, three ways. He wanted to build 2 cities in Egypt, and he decided to have all the Israelites as slaves and use them to build that city. So that is the biggest hardship that he can give. He did not want to employ any Egyptian, but only the Israelites as slaves to build 2 big cities in Egypt. And the second one was to actually make them work in bricklines. Bricklane is a place where it is very tough task. So only Israelites should work in bricklines, nobody else. Okay, and the third method that he adopted was to employ them to work in the cultivation, in the farms and other places. So for the sake of Egyptians, they have to work. So 3 difficult tasks were given to them, and only Israelites have to work there. Now that is how he tried to squeeze them, and that was the first strategy. Exhaust them with the work so that they don't have time for anything else, and they will start grumbling and complaining, and they will get destroyed by themselves, or they will leave the place. That's what his plan was. Again, we can come back to learning from this spiritual truth. In today's situation also, the evil one works in the same way. Now, in this context, I would like to say, do we have an evil one? What is the evil one? Do we have the so-called devil? Yes, there is. If God was there and he created humankind, and in the book of Genesis itself we can find the serpent, that is the evil one, entered. So since that is mentioned there in the Bible itself, we can understand that there is an evil force which tries to take us away from God. That is the only purpose of the evil one. So here, even in today's situation, the evil one, how does it work? To take us away from God is to give us a lot of work, to exhaust us with a lot of work. Okay, maybe in the name of good salary, good recognition, good status, power, or whatever it is, it will be very luring, it will be very attracting for us, but we will get into that, and we'll become so engrossed in the work that we won't have time for praying at all. It happens even to priests also, who are supposed to devote a lot of time for prayer. They are busy in working, and that is the work of the evil one. So we have to be conscious or cautious about it. No, I have to give a time for my Creator. Apart from that, any other work is secondary. So this is one thing that we have to be cautious about. So in this context, I thought I can tell that. Okay. Now coming to the second strategy that Pharaoh adopted was target the upcoming generation. He ordered all male kids, the sons who were born, to be killed immediately. But the midwives, Israelites and Egyptians, the midwives were, they were feeling very bad to kill the newborn children themselves. So they somehow hid it, and this plan did not work out. So Pharaoh, what he did was, he said that the children have to be thrown into the Nile River. Now this was the strategy so the children, when they are born, the Israelites, male children, they have to be thrown into the Nile River. So this is what he see. Again, we can see it is because of this order of the king, a child was born. Moses was thrown into the river Nile, and he was adopted by the daughter of Pharaoh, and he was able to be grown up as a good administrator in the Pharaoh's palace itself, and he became the deliverer of the Israelites. So always, this is what we have to understand. Even if we are attacked, even if the chosen generation is attacked by the evil one, we have to remember God uses that situation also for our good. So this plan itself was, it was such a nice plan. God twisted it. He just changed it. That because of that only, Moses was thrown into the Nile River, and he was adopted, and he became a deliverer of the same Israelites. So everywhere we have to understand. Here I would like to remember that, to tell you the verse in Romans chapter 8:28. All things happens for good for those who trust and believe in Him. So if we really know that God is with us and we are a chosen generation, that is blessing upon us, even if there are many attacks or anything that is happening, God changes it for our good. Let us trust and believe in that. So with this, chapter 1 gets over. We'll continue with chapter 2 in the next session. Thank you. God bless.